So thank you for taking the time to participate in our study. I'm Marie. Today I'll be moderating the focus group. We will be discussing your guys' opinions on energy drinks for our marketing research project. I want to emphasize that this participation is entirely voluntary. You may choose not to answer any of the questions, and you can leave at any time. We are audio taping the session, but everything will be kept confidential, and your name will be left out of any reports. Rules of the day: make sure you talk loud and proud. Don't overemphasize don't be overbearing over other people, and let other people get a chance to talk and say your honest opinions. Everything is welcome. Any ideas are welcome. So we already did introductions, so we're gonna move on. Does anyone else want to jump in, or do you just want me to about it?
Sure, that's fine. You guys want to name some energy drinks that come to mind, just, right on the tip of your tongue or anything like that?
Monster.
Red Bull.
Yep.
5 Hour.
Rockstar.
Function.
Yeah, it's an energy drink.
Four Loko.
That's all I got.
Alright, so what are some words that come to mind when you think of these energy drinks or the brand associated with them?
Energy.
Hyper. Sugary. Heart attack.
That's fair.
Unhealthy.
Action sports.
Sugar.
Focused. Anxious.
Okay, what are some of the main benefits you see from energy drinks?
Help you focus.
Yeah. Energy.
Hyper.
So going back to one of the first questions, when you think of shout out a name of an energy drink you think of, and then the word associated with that energy drink. Or are there different? Do you associate Red Bull differently from Monster or versus Rockstar or versus Fusion? Is that one you said? Function. Okay. So you know what I mean? So when I say Monster, what are things that you think of?
The 3 lines.
So their brand, their logo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a specific taste you think of? Can you identify any flavors?
Hey.
Hi, welcome to our focus group.
How's it going? I guess I'll get this one.
Member 11 has just arrived.
Thank you.
I think of citrus flavors when I think of Monster.
Okay.
I think of not flavor wise, but I think of the things they sponsor, like motocross and other cars and stuff like that. I've seen it around.
I think of in high school, it was a cool kids drink. You came in with a Monster, ooh.
You were about to get
So is it a drink that you would necessarily, if you were to choose an energy drink today, would you choose it and why?
I would choose Red Bull. Just because it comes in a small can.
That's
Monster's
exactly
in a
what I
big
was
can.
thinking.
That's a lot of energy. I don't think I want to be up that long. Red Bull looks like it'll get the job done.
Okay.
Yeah, when I think of monsters, I think of those nerd video game players, and I think of that commercial. Not the commercials, but that video of that lady talking about the devil and stuff like that. And she turns pink.
Oh yeah.
I think of that.
So back to that question then. So what sounds more appealing, Red Bull or 5 Hour Energy because of the container? Because the 5 Hour Energy is super small.
5-hour energy look like it's, I don't know, for some reason I think of Pepto-Bismol, it's gonna come out as some solid liquid, and Red Bull is
solid liquid.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like viscous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
But Red Bull is it's like water almost with some flavor. Easier on the throat.
Red Bull is more like a drink. 5 Hour Energy is something that you use if you actually need that.
It's like a shot.
Yeah.
5 hours of energy.
Yeah. Cause yeah.
When you think of Red Bull, what are some of the associations you make?
Wings.
Use it to pregame too.
All right.
I won't pregame 5 Hour Energy. That's just too much.
That's shot in the shot. Okay, so then, considering that all of you guys drink energy drinks, what is the primary reason that you choose the energy drink you drink. So like you were mentioning something about the size of the container or like the size of the actual energy drink. Like, is there another reason that you pick the brand that you do?
I like the flavor of the Red Bull.
Okay.
The sugar-free one is better.
What do you think about like, you know, those little smaller Red Bulls with like the lime flavors or like what do you think
I
about
haven't tried
those?
those.
Those anyone?
Not good.
Wait, they're smaller?
They taste bad.
They're,
I don't know.
they're
I've
like
never seen
they're like that size probably, I think, and they're like red edition with like cherry
Yeah.
flavoring.
Oh,
or
Oh yeah,
something.
those are good.
Those are good, yeah. Why don't you like them too?
I don't. They don't taste good.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Sure.
I like the way the Monster can looks. It has bright colors.
That's true. Pops.
So what are some of the drawbacks of drinking them? Or why would you refrain from choosing them over another form of energy or caffeinated beverage?
I feel like you crash afterwards. You just hit rock bottom after that certain amount of energy that you do get.
The nervous jitters.
Yeah. They can be super good. Like other things don't do it as much, I guess.
Is do you ever take the label, like the ingredients on the label, into account when you're choosing?
Usually, if I'm drinking an energy drink, I'm not concerned about like health or
Yeah,
like,
think about the
it's.
commercials.
I have like something I need to do, so it's like that's why I take it because I need to stay up and like do something.
Okay.
I don't know. I take out like other forms like a coffee because there's a lot less sugar and it's more natural than all the ingredients in an energy drink.
Would, if you saw like an energy drink with like a health benefit to it, like you saw that some of the Monster drinks, I think, or maybe it's Rockstar or something, has like tea in it, and they're trying to like, would that draw you to it, or would that be something that you like don't care and you just would rather stick to something better?
No, because I feel like it's so minimal, and
Like all
everything
the
else bad about it just kind of.
Artificial
Yeah.
ingredients.
So,
I would be drawn to it
yeah.
because, I mean, if it's anything better than like the next option, I would take that.
Okay, so we kind of have answered this, but do you think that there are energy drinks that are healthy to consume? Or which of these brands that we've been discussing are maybe the healthiest?
They're all terrible.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are really.
I think 5 Hour Energy isn't that terrible.
So maybe abuse
That's
harmful.
Yeah.
Are the
Well,
healthiest.
we brought up Function that they sell like here in the brew, which
Yeah.
like actually has a lot more like natural ingredients to it. Like actually, if you read the container, it has more natural ingredients to it and it has like a little pretty graph on it that shows you the energy. So there's not that much of a crash. Does that appeal to you, or is it just pretty much the same? Like, oh, it's an energy drink, I still hate it.
I would choose Function over a Red Bull every time.
Okay.
Just because, regardless of whether it's true or not, it looks way nicer, and I feel a lot better drinking that than I do like Red Bull. Because I just associate like Red Bull and Monster with like sugar, but then like something like that, they have it. I guess like yes, it just I interpret it differently.
There's no sugar-free option for Function, though. So that's my issue with it.
Do you want to take number 6?
So, do you guys care about flavor when considering purchasing energy drinks? And if so, what type of flavor would you consider purchasing?
I think it depends on the energy drink.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a Monster or like a Red Bull, it's like more for you to consume. And it's just like a little 5 Hour Energy. Just throw it back.
So I guess let's assume like they're all 12-ounce cans. What flavor sounds appealing? If any flavor at all.
Well, for me personally, I don't like the taste of energy drinks. Like, I feel like it's horrible. It just tastes really bad, whatever flavor. But it's the energy that you get from it. So, like, I had a 5 Hour Energy the other day, and it was like the extra one, and I literally was like that was it. I didn't like sip, like, and put in a cup of ice or something and shake it. No, it was like throw it back. Yeah, and I feel like with a lot of, like, this is me personally, like with Red Bull and stuff, like I just don't like that. It's weird aftertaste with energy drinks.
Yeah, they do have their own like taste.
Yeah.
You know,
and
I don't. I
Also,
don't
if it tastes a little more natural, like a juice. or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah,
that'd be better.
like a fruity.
Or like a soda.
I
something.
feel like it'll appeal to more people if they did. Because I feel like energy drink taste has like its own. It's like a.
But I also feel like if it had a juice like taste, then I'm more inclined to think that like it's not doing it, and I'm more so thinking that it's doing it. So like the aftertaste is like, ooh, this is that nasty stuff. It's gonna work.
So favorite, just like in general, favorite beverage flavors when it comes to any type of like soda, pop, or whatever. What is a flavor that appeals to you?
Strawberry.
Fruit punch.
Blue raspberry.
Or cherry.
Cherry.
Do you ever consider the amount of calories being consumed?
Yes.
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 Depending on my mood.
Describe that. Like, what if you're in a bad mood?
Like
You.
if I'm in like a healthy mood, like you
Alright.
know, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But if it's a weekend and I'm feeling good, then I'm just gonna. Don't matter.
Me too. If it's a weekend, I usually don't care. But if it's like during the week, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to behave at least.
Yeah.
Or like stay more like on track.
Is it that you just pick the least calorie alternative, or do you pick like, do you set yourself a limit of like, I won't drink anything over 200 calories? Or do you say like, let me see these 2 cans and just read the one that has less?
Kind of like
Maybe less.
Yeah, less.
Whichever one has less.
Even if it's like within a 10 calorie
Yeah.
difference, you'll still pick, okay. Where do you usually buy energy drinks?
7-Eleven.
Walgreens, not the one here though. The one down the street.
Okay.
So like a convenience store though, you
Yeah.
wouldn't go out of your way to
Yeah.
get anything like that.
Unless you like plan on something.
Before
You know what I'm saying?
finals week, I'll go to Target and buy a 4-pack or something.
If it's a plan, then I feel like you kind of do it. But
So typically you don't buy them in bulk, like one at a time?
yeah.
Does anyone buy them like when they're grocery shopping?
I feel like it's like spur of the moment. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you really, it's like day to day
Impulse buy?
impulse buy, 100%.
This may be kind of late, but I also buy the Starbucks refreshers. Are those considered energy drinks?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'll do that too. Late, but yeah.
That was pretty late.
I know.
What do you like about the Starbucks refreshers?
Because it says it's like coffee. It's just like what somebody's on like, it has like coffee extracts. I'm like, I may be a little bit healthier with this one then.
Does anyone actually know like the ingredients that are the caffeine in those drinks? Like,
Besides caffeine.
do you ever? Yeah, right. Like so, like guarina or whatever is one of them, or like coffee extract. Do you actually like consider those, and do you know what they do, or is it just like you see these weird words and you don't care?
I remember it was like one commercial that had it looking like nasty little things. It's that 5-hour energy commercial. And
Yeah.
the glowing little balls and it looks disgusting. So,
So you don't really care. You just
nah.
So pretty much the only thing you look on a can for is that it says energy drink and possibly calories. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that
Besides
besides
flavor.
like the logo and sugar?
And I guess
Well,
it's
personally,
natural.
I'm diabetic, so I look for sugar content. I go for very low sugar
Okay.
because it's not.
Unless there's like a
Good.
buzzword that you like hear all the time is like bad for you and you see it on there. And it's,
Right.
Other than that.
I don't know. I look at the ingredients. The more I don't know how to pronounce, the more I know like how artificial that is. So
True.
that's big for me.
Like I just ignore the ingredients because I know it's bad stuff. Like I was like, all right, like let me just throw it back and forget about it. You know? So
okay. What is the most you would pay for an energy drink?
So, putting them in fries.
The most you paid.
What would be like the
50
limit that you're willing to spend
For like
on
how
it?
much though?
Like I guess
Um,
again like a 12-ounce can just
yeah.
all across the board.
Just like for one energy drink you're buying
Yeah.
tonight, say.
$7.99. I think so.
That's the most.
$7.90 per one.
Okay, never mind.
That's not bad. 12-ounce can.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't go above like $3.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like $2.
Yeah, maybe like.
I was thinking of a big can. But yeah, then in my head I heard like big can.
on price?
Unanimous
Usually?
$3.50.
If it's more than like $3 or $4, I usually don't. It's not something I would buy.
I get the cheapest one.
How willing are you to try a new brand? So if you've never seen if it's not a Monster label or it's not something you've seen on the shelves recently, are you still willing to try it if it is comparable to other offerings?
I think if a friend had it and I had it before or something, like if it was free.
If it's free.
Yeah, it changes a lot. It changes the whole game.
So like at a store, if you just saw a lineup of them, and you saw a new one you weren't familiar with, nothing from a friend, you wouldn't go with that. You want some kind of review or some background to buy that.
Something I had
Yes.
before.
Some sort of
Yeah.
review.
Or at least a commercial.
Yeah.
At least hear about it,
Something-
something so you're
something.
familiar with the product a little bit.
Yeah, I think with energy drinks, they kind of like a little bit scare me because it's like, I don't know, I watched this video the other day of this man who like took 10 5-hour energies and his heart was like coming out of his chest. So like every time, and my mom's like, why are you drinking those things? Like, you're gonna like, you know, get wings for real. So it's like, you know, yeah, when it comes to newer ones or like things I haven't seen before, I definitely am cautious and hesitant to buy. Whereas like other people said like 5-hour Red Bull is like, all right, I'm getting.
Do you guys buy into the lifestyle brands at all? Like I would say that probably 5 Hour Energy and Monster are like lifestyle brands. So, like for instance, Red Bull doesn't do any advertising. They just promote a ton and they promote like extreme sports or whatever and stuff like that. Do you guys buy into that at all, or does that not influence your decision?
Doesn't.
Or are any of you part of those like extreme sports? No. Cool. Cool. Well, that wraps us up. Do you guys want to just go around and say your name so that we can prove we had 11 people here?
Okay.
Okay. That's all.
I'll start. Okay, Natasia.
Allie.
Holly.
Sigrid. Tashyla.
Noble.
Christopher.
Sierra.
Corey.
Sam.
Sweet. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
are free to go. Eat some food. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. And we'll collect your little thing.
Fun.
Yes, thank you. You guys rock. Eat some food. Huh?
20 minutes.
Stop recording. Oh. He's like, she's like.